Hi guys, welcome back. This is a contact paper wrapped tumbler, and I'm going to feature my new glitter butterfly kisses. So I'm starting off with this 20-ounce skinny from Stainless Depot. I sanded, washed, and spray painted a matte white. And this is contact paper that I actually purchased from the Dollar Tree. I thought it was really pretty. I love the black and white design of it. And you can totally wrap a tumbler with contact paper, and I'll show you how. So I already pre-measured this to wrap around my tumbler. It is a little bit longer than I need, but I'm going to trim that off. And you're basically going to wrap just like you would a vinyl wrap. I'm going to peel off just a section here to get my tumbler started. This is a little bit longer on the ends so that I can get a good seam. And I'm just going to lay my tumbler down and wrap that right around. I'm just showing you different options of things that you can use on your tumblers, and they really turn out pretty. So, if you have a budget or you just find some contact paper that has a really pretty design, go ahead and try it. It makes it fun, and it gives you more options. You could do several tumblers with this one roll of contact paper. This went out really smooth and I didn't have any bubbles, but you want to just kind of flatten that out as you go and push it on the air bubbles you may have. I was pleasantly surprised with how easy this was to wrap around the tumbler. So I'm going to cut off the excess here. I'm just going to lay that flat. Like I said, there is some excess over the top and the bottom. And I'm going to stretch and pull the bottom, that excess over the bottom. You'll see how I wrap that here in just a minute. But first I'm going to cut my seam so it's nice and flat. I did have a little bit of an overhang, so just use your sharp blade tool. Be really careful whenever you use a blade tool. You don't want to hurt yourself. And I'm just going to follow the line of the two pieces of contact paper there. The contact paper is really nice because it is very well, it's not permanent like a permanent vinyl. It is more like a removable vinyl. It's very easy to peel back up. You could use these, they'd make a great stencil. Instead of buying expensive stencil vinyl, you can use contact paper to do a stencil. Really, there's so many ways you can use this to your advantage and just save a few pennies. So now my seam's nice and straight. And I'm going to cut the bottom here in little slivers so that I can wrap it around the bottom of the tumbler smoothly. I want to lay it flat around the bottom of the tumbler. I'm actually going to glitter over top of it, so whether you choose to cut it off or just wrap it around, that's your choice. But I chose just to wrap it around. This contact paper is very thin, so it was easy to wrap around the bottom without having any, extra ripples or anything in the paper there. And we'll worry about the bottom of the tumbler in just a little while. So this is my new little cup fabric cutter, vinyl cutter that I purchased on Amazon. I'll put it in the link below. It's really handy. It's just that little blade that's adjustable to get the right seam that you like. And I'm just cutting off a very thin area at the top of the tumbler to help that just make a really good seam there. And you can see how easy that is to peel back. So you want to make sure that it's nice and smooth and no air bubbles. You can see how pretty that design is. I really like it. So let's take it over to my turner. I'm going to apply a layer of resin over this, epoxy resin. I'm using KS Art resin. It's one of my favorite resins. I feel like the bubbles are very minimal and can easily be popped with a torch. And it just creates a really pretty glass-like finish. And it also has UV protectors so that your tumbler won't yellow. I'm not adding glitter or any additives to this layer. I really like how that white looks under the epoxy. When the epoxy is over this contact paper, it almost looks, it's not creamy because it's white, but it just looks so pretty. I can't really explain it. And if you like it like this, you can just leave it like that and make a beautiful tumbler. But of course, I'm going to add some sparkle to this. So I'm going to let this cure 24 hours, and then we'll be back to put some glitter on. I'm using a little torch that I purchased from Amazon. I'll leave that in the link also. So 24 hours later, this is what the tumbler looks like. Like I said, it looks so beautiful under the epoxy. You could really just leave this tumbler the way it is. But I have to add some glitter. And I'm excited to announce that I am officially going to release my new glitter called Butterfly Kisses. It is this high flash, metallic, chunky mix. It has 3 different sizes of cut glitter, and it is so flashy and gorgeous. It is so high flash. You'll see here, it's so pretty. So I'm going to go in a diagonal, or a swirl, I guess I should say, shape with the glitter to kind of swoop it around the tumbler and get so that you can see that glitter from all sides. I'm going to use Mod Podge and a medium-sized brush to apply my glitter. I'm just going to apply my Mod Podge directly to my tumbler. I really like putting my Mod Podge in one of these squeeze bottles. It's a condiment squeeze bottle purchased from the Dollar Tree. So I'm putting on a pretty good thickness of Mod Podge since this is a pretty chunky glitter. And you're going to see how well this glitter really has amazing coverage. I literally did 1 layer of glitter on this swirl. I dripped a little. I'm such a messy crafter. Are you guys messy crafters or are you clean crafters? I envy you if you're a clean crafter. I usually have glitter everywhere. Just smoothing that out so I don't have any streaks. But really when you're using chunky glitter, you won't see any streaks. My glitter comes in 2-ounce by weight packets, and that 2 ounces really does last a long time with the glitter. You can find it on my Etsy page. I'll leave a link in the description box below. And you can see how high flash this is. It's such a pretty, like a rose pink metallic. It's beautiful. I thought it was really fitting for this flower tumbler. And it has such good coverage. You can't even see the white underneath because it's covering so well. Those 3 sizes of 3 size cuts of glitter really does cover really well. So So I'm just dabbing those down, getting the small chunks to lay flat. And like I said, this is the only layer of the glitter that I did put on. But if you are using a different type of glitter and you need a second coat, go ahead and let this dry completely and then add a second coat of Mod Podge and go ahead and add a second coat of glitter. I'm just going to fill in some of the spots that were missed. Mod Podge dries so quickly, you have to kind of move fast. So for now I'm just doing the swirl. I'm going to address the bottom of the tumbler in just a little while. Now let this part in because you can almost see that glitter when it's laying flat like that looks like a pink mirror. This glitter is going to be available in limited quantity until I see if there is really an interest, and then I will have more. So that Mod Podge is dry, and I'm going to use a smaller cut of glitter to do my bottom so that I don't have a lot of chunk. And this is Chunky Rose Gold from the Glitter Guy. It matched my glitter perfectly, and it's just a smaller cut of, it's not a fine glitter, it's more like a small medium cut glitter, but it matched my glitter perfectly. So I'm just doing the bottom there. I didn't want to use the big chunks on the bottom because then it's just harder to get a smooth finish. So after my glitter is applied, I'm going to let that Mod Podge dry. I usually let my glitter dry for at least an hour. And then I'm going to go in and seal my glitter with a clear spray enamel. I use a Rust-Oleum clear enamel just to kind of hold those glitters in place because I don't want them to migrate when I put my epoxy on. I don't want any glitter in the flowered areas. So just patting those down just like I did with the other chunky to get them to lay nice and flat. So this is after 2 coats of epoxy resin have cured. You can see how beautiful that glitter looks under that epoxy. This tumbler has a lid. I sanded it down and I'm going to wash it here. I'm going to tape it off and I'm going to paint a base color of, spray paint a base color of white. Whenever I tape these lids off, I like to use electrical tape. They form easier to the curve. And it just is kind of a smoother transition. I like to get that nice sharp edge. I'm just taping off the threads there. And then for the hole, I'm going to take a plastic straw that I have and just cut it and stick it down in there. That'll help so that I don't get spray paint down in the center of that straw area. And I'm using a pool noodle on my tumbler turner arm. Fits perfectly. And I'm going to take some masking tape and tape that right to the pool noodle. And then take it outside and spray paint that white. So now it's sprayed white and it's been dry, so I'm going to take my tape off and the straw, and I measured and cut the inner circle and the center circle there on my Cricut, and I just put this right into my Cricut and cut the circle. So you can also cut this vinyl on with your cutting tool. It works so great. I'm telling you guys, give this a try. I'm going to lay it down. I'm going to put it back on my pool noodle with that straw in there and put it on my turner. And I put 2 layers of epoxy on this lid. And here's the tumbler all finished. Look at that shine on that glitter. This is Butterfly Kisses, like I said. It's a multi-cut, chunky. And this cup is so beautiful. I love it so much. You know, guys, you got to step outside the box. If you don't have a lot of money, you can go to your dollar store and get some pretty contact paper and give it a try. I hope this inspired you to try something new. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. You can leave a comment or a question. I'll be happy to answer. Here's a close-up of my glitter. Like I said, it's available in my Etsy shop, and I'll leave that link below. Thank you so much again for watching, and happy crafting, everyone.